Good evening, everyone, and welcome to KXI 12 News at 6 o'clock. I'm Jeff Eliasoff.
And I'm Caroline Fletcher. The town of Dickson is grieving after two high school boys were killed in a crash over the weekend.
KXI 12's Marisa Sisk has what we know so far.
Saturday afternoon, Ardmore police responded to a vehicle accident on Mary Niblack near 3rd Avenue. There, they found a vehicle wrecked into a tree, fully engulfed in flames.
Firefighters showed up on scene and were able to extinguish the fire. At that time, we began an investigation on the crash itself.
The investigation revealed the passengers were traveling north before leaving the roadway, striking the tree. Once it was safe to search, they found 2 people dead.
At that time, those subjects were taken by the medical examiner to do their procedures.
Dunn says they're still investigating what led up to the crash, but excessive speed could have played a factor.
It's possible they could have been at a high rate of speed, but that hadn't been confirmed yet.
Dickson Schools revealed 2 of their students were killed in an accident over the weekend, and 2 GoFundMes have been created for the 2 Dickson High School students, which identified them as Greg Lowry and Malachi Dickson. Both GoFundMes can be found on our website, kxii.com. I reached out to Dickson Schools, but they chose not to comment at this time. With faculty back on campus Monday, they held a remembrance for them. As students make their return from winter break Tuesday, school officials tell me they plan to have additional counselors and therapy dogs for support. They said their priority is to create a safe space for their students during this time of grief. In a statement, district officials say the Dickson Commons community is known for taking care of one another, and this will be especially important in the days ahead. In Dickson, Marisa Sisk, KXII 12.